Yo, what is up guys, Grim here, and in today's video I'm going to be taking you through my massive loot results of splitting 10 maximum juice blueprints, and we're going to tell you if it's worth it, why it's worth it, and what you'll need to get started. So let's get into the video and we'll check all this out. So first things first, what is blueprint splitting, and what kind of things should you be looking for on the blueprint that you've got? So a blueprint split is taking a very powerful blueprint like this one here and using a phenomenal plate arachnid on it to split it in half, essentially duplicating it infinitely. Now this split blueprint will maintain all of its rewards, it'll maintain all of the unveils, and it'll basically be a carbon copy of it, which is very, very powerful. So super cool. So what should you be looking for on your blueprint base? Well, ideally, you want to be looking for the following. You want to be looking for massive amounts of currency, and you want to look for thieves, trinkets, or currency as the heist target. These are the best combination. Anything else you can get on there would be good, but you're looking for about 15 plus currency nodes. Now, this blueprint is basically in widespread circulation at this point. Pretty much everyone's got a copy of it, so I'd recommend just trying to fish around and find out if you can try and split one of these yourself. Lots of people have it, and lots of people are willing to split it for you for either a fee or, in my stream, for free. We were doing a lot of free splits, which was really awesome and wholesome. So that's the blueprint, guys. Now let's get into the results, shall we? So we ran 10 of these things, and I bought the spiders in bulk for 200C, which is a bit crazy, but you know, that's the way it goes. Bit of a crazy buy-in cost there. Here is the spreadsheet. So as you can see that we've got expenses of 2,000. That's a lot of currency. The question is though, is it possible to earn that back? Well, first of all, you're going to want to arm yourself with a bit of gear, and that gear is a Thief's Trinket. The Thief's Trinket you're looking for is one with a modifier. Regal Orbs have a chance to drop as Exalted Orbs. Now there's 3 different variants of this. There's a 2%er, there's a 3%er, and there's a 4%er. Now all of these are varying different price ranges. I'm not sure how much this one is right now. We'll take a quick look. So this one is currently 20 exalts. That's very expensive. Don't worry though, the 2%ers are significantly less expensive. If we take a look at this one, you know, it's only, if we can wait for the, oh, there we go. It's only 530 chaos, so it's significantly cheaper. Now you're probably thinking, you've got 200C in the beast, you got a blueprint split, and you've got to get this trinket, like, oh my gosh, how are you ever gonna make money doing this? Well, that's a very good question. And we're here to answer that. So, okay, let's just recap. You've got your Thief's Trinket at like probably 2% is what you're going to be looking at. If you can get 4%, you know, that's ideal. You're going to be earning a lot more money, but 2% at the minimum. So you've got your Thief's Trinket, you've got your blueprint to split, and you've split it once. So you've got another one. So what's the first thing you want to do? You want to roll this bad boy for 20 plus alert reduction. That's very important, and that's going to allow you to loot all the chests, assuming that your rogue followers have enough alert reduction gear, and we'll quickly go into that real quick so you can kind of get just a basis. So assuming that you've got a 20% plus roll and you've got all of your rogue follower gears with a 5% implicit cloak with 12% reduced raising of alert level of chest, so you've got it on all your guys. You can see I've got it here on all of them. That's what you're shooting for. If you have that, you'll be able to open all of the league specific chests. Don't worry about the small chests, they're not that important. It's all about the league specific chests, or the ones with the icons on them. That's where the big money's at, and that's what you need to be doing. So again, we've got our blueprint, got our trinket, got our thieves all geared up, and we're ready to head in. So you don't actually need anything else, you just come over here and you make sure you're good to go. But first, you're gonna have to unveil your blueprint. So you wanna come to the planning room, and you're gonna put your guys on. So what are you looking for from the guys? So ideally, when you're putting your guys on, always put on the alert reduction champions. So that's Talina, Cast, and Nanette if you have her, but she's not on this blueprint. Those are the priority. And then for anything to do with demolition or engineering, put Vendari on. Vendari is a 20% more loot multiplier, and it's going to give you a ton more loot in wings that he's present in. So all of the alert reduction you get, and then when you can get Vendari on, wherever you can, put him on. So he's good at engineering, and he's also good at demolition. I think we have a demolition over here. So on this blueprint specifically, he's on 2 wings. Now, when you can put cast on over anyone else, cast is very, very good. So you should put cast on here. And this is kind of what this blueprint's gonna shake out to looking like. It's gonna look a bit like that with all of the guys on there. And that's super duper sweet. So that's how you set up the blueprint. And that's kind of what you're looking for. And that should get you in the door, ready to loot, and basically at the point that I was at. Now, currently, brooches do not work, in my opinion, so you don't have to worry too much about the stats on these. You know, they have a chance to duplicate currency, but I'm like 99% sure this is not functioning currently. I had it all on there, and I never once saw any of the loot be duplicated. If you want, though, you know, you can equip all your guys with chance to duplicate currency brooches. You know, if it does work secretly for some reason, and I just wasn't noticing it, that'll make sure that you're safe and you're ready to go. So super cool there. All right, moving on. How much can you expect to earn? That's the next question. So I ran 10 blueprints. I invested 2,000 chaos, and I pulled out 3,137 in super duper liquid currency. Now, I did actually pull a bunch of the stuff out of the tab, so I had a lot more in here. Now, I pulled all of this out because I'm never going to sell maps. Annulment shards are currently bugged on Excellence, and you know, essences and divination cards, like random div cards, I'm never selling these. This contributed to about another 300-ish more chaos of profit. So if you did want to go through all the trouble of selling all of this stuff, you probably could make even more money than I did. Now, I also got a lot of raw exalts. You can see here we got 22 raw exalts. A lot of this is from the Thief's Trinket, and we'll go into that in a little bit. But just to kind of round out the loot here, before we jump into spreadsheet mode, I did also get a Thief's Trinket with the 2% chance to drop the Exalted Orbs. Now, as we mentioned at the start of the video, these are a very coveted item when people are running blueprints and heists. So they fetch a very, very high price. As we said here, you know, it's like 520C, so that would go on top of my profit. Now, Thieves' Trinkets. These, you can pretty much expect to get one if you run enough of these blueprints because it's our targeted heist reward. They're completely insane, and if you get a 4%er, you know, you're pretty much set for the rest of the league. You got 40 or 60x there for your typical player. That's going to be enough to make any build. So that's pretty insane there. So you could strike it lucky and essentially just loot a headhunter from the end rewards of these things. Even if you get a 3% or 2%, you're still going to be sitting pretty happy. Now, this trinket was not included in the loot results. So essentially, all of these results are as if you didn't get any trinkets from the end reward. So that's pretty cool indeed. But I guess I did make closer to about 3,600 or 700 liquid chaos in revenue. So that would have been 1.7K profit. So pretty cool there. Anyway, let's get into the results, shall we? We'll jump into the Excel as always, and we'll take a look. So on the breakdown here, you can see we got an absolute insane amount of just currency in general, just straight up currency. You know, 1.4K chisels. That's insane. You know, 370 raw chaos. We got 22 raw exalted orbs. Those are made up of exalted shards, as well as the trinket, as well as just raw, normal, natural exalts. You know, just to name a few things. Some other things you can expect to get there are stuff like beachheads from the Harvey chests, you know, ancient orbs. You can get deli orbs from the end reward kind of cabinets, which drop like stacks of 3 to 4. You can expect to get winged scarabs from the end rewards as well in the cabinets, which is pretty cool in my opinion. Definitely pretty awesome. Now, let's get into how much you could expect to earn. So I think on average, it's not unfair to say that you probably will earn fairly similar amount to me, as this is over, you know, hundreds of currency chests opened and 10 full blueprint runs. I think it's a fairly large sample size in terms of what you can expect to get in terms of raw currency. Because again, each one of these blueprints that we're opening, where did it go? I think I left it in the planning room. It's got 34 currency chests on it. So if you do some quick math, 34 did 340 currency chests. So the sample size is large. It's not small at all. So I do expect you will make a very similar amount. Now, okay, so we made a profit of around 1,145 chaos. That's about 1.8x per blueprint. Now, I was running these very slowly on stream because I was talking to chat. We were having a good old time, you know, we were laughing it up. How fast could you probably expect to run these? So I'd say the typical player is probably going to run these at about 3 per hour. You know, that's probably fairly conservative. If you're playing like a lab runner, could you run a blueprint in under 10 minutes? Probably. You know, I'm talking like a Pathfinder lab runner, but let's go with 20 minutes per blueprint. I think that's fairly reasonable. These things aren't too difficult to run. All you need to do is make sure you don't die and can kill the monsters attacking the NPCs. So they're pretty chill, and yeah, not too bad there. So let's take a quick look. So if you're doing 1.8 exalts per, you know, conservatively, with a 3% trinket, you can expect to make, you know, 5.4x per hour. Now this is probably going to go up a little bit if you've got a 4% trinket, and a lot more if you get a trinket reward at the end, but let's just say 5.4x per hour. Now this is going to basically dictate whether this is worth it or not for you. If 5.4x per hour is really, really insane for you, then, you know, go for it. Blueprint splitting is a really good idea. Very, very good indeed. Now, if this isn't insane for you, you know, the content probably isn't suited to you. There's going to be a lot of, you know, running around, clicking boxes, looting. You're probably better off doing something else like 100% delirium or something like that. You're probably going to earn a lot more currency doing that one compared to this. So, but if that does sound good to you, let's get into min-maxing this a little bit further. So, the trinkets, this is where a lot of the money comes from. If we take a look at how many regals we got here, we got 236 regals. Now with that number, we can actually calculate how many exalts you can expect to get with the trinket kind of roughly. So I calculate here that I get 7 exalts from my trinket of a 3%er. The way we did that is we get the 236 times 3%, and that gives us the 7 exalt number. So if I wasn't using an exalt trinket, I would lose 7 straight up exalts out of my results. So if you do 7 times 62, that's 434 chaos down the drain of my, you know, 1,145 profit. So I'd only make 711 chaos profit. So you absolutely need to be running a trinket with these. That's the underlying value here. Now, is it that much worse to go to a 2% trinket versus a 4% trinket? You know, all over the place. Let's get into those results now. So I've calculated out here, for a 2%, you'll get 4.7 extra exalts. For 3%, you get the 7 that I got. And for a 4%, you'll get 9.44 or 9.5 exalts. So that's pretty cool there. You guys can kind of see on average how much chaos that is. You'll be getting out extra. So the more you invest in your Feast trinket, the more that you'll get back. The question is it worth it to go buy one? In my opinion, absolutely yes. The reason for that is you can get the full value out of it, whether it's a 3 or a 4%er, and then you can just sell it on for the same price you bought it at to someone else. The prices potentially may go down as more of them enter the market, but I don't think they'll go down by that much. So pretty cool. So that's the profit that you can expect there. That's the trinkets. And you know, at the end of the day, you're probably going to be making quite a fat amount of currency because this is a super conservative estimate. So let's now quickly round things off. Should you farm this content? So I think absolutely this is good content for players who are just looking for a chill kind of gameplay style. It's not a heap of combat, it's a lot of looting. It's kind of very similar to Darkness Running if you've ever played the Delve League for the fossils. That's exactly what it feels like when you're doing it. Now, the prices of the spiders may go up. In fact, they have gone up since the stream. So they're now 227 or 230 chaos. So if we just say worst case scenario, 230 chaos, is it still worth doing? We'll quickly take a look here. I'll put that as 230. You'll see here that we're only making 84C or 1.4x per map now with a 3% trinket. So as the price of the spider goes up more and more, it'll become significantly less worth it. So you do have to make sure that you're considering that. Is there really a point where you'll probably lose money? Potentially not. I don't really think you'll lose money unless potentially you're using a 2% trinket, because that is going to start getting things a little bit close here. But the more and more people buy them, the more and more like it's probably going to go down in value. So you do have to consider that. Make sure you're not buying these spiders a little bit too expensive. Now there is also another thing to consider here, and that is that the amount of currency that is dropping here is going to basically crush the economy. 1,400 chisels. That is a lot of chisels. 1,400 divided by 4. Someone would have to run 350 maps to consume all those chisels. And that's just me doing 10 blueprints. With everyone doing these blueprints, pumping thousands of chisels, thousands of GCPs, scours, vials, regrets, and everything like that into the economy, no doubt these currencies will go down in price compared to the Chaos Orb. So we do also have to think that maybe the actual amount that we're pulling out will go down in price as well, because a lot of it, this stuff is very, very easy to just depreciate in value. So underlying value, if you like the content, run it. It's pretty chill, not too bad. You probably will make money for the foreseeable future, but do keep an eye on those spider prices, as well as the prices of stuff like chisels and fusings. If that starts to sharply go down, definitely reconsider. But we did pretty much make most of our money back of our 32 Exalt investment. How much did we make back in raw currency? We pretty much made 22. We almost made the full investment back, less 4 Exalts, just in raw currency that can't depreciate alone. So if you had the 4% of Trinket, you'd be looking pretty good indeed. So blueprints, there you guys go. We'll be testing plenty of more stuff on stream, so definitely come and tune in. But with all that said, more videos coming. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.